They want us to talk about it like it's a little story when really these are major agendas that we're discussing.
But the difficulty is getting people to believe something that they don't want to believe. And in each of these cases, this is where the money is.
Yeah.
Comedian Katt Williams just dropped a bombshell, claiming that Diddy attempted to silence talk show host Wendy Williams by poisoning her. Seems like there's never a dull moment in Hollywood. Let's dive into the drama and see what's really cooking behind the scenes.
There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams, and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And
just when we thought Katt Williams was done stirring the pot in the industry, he's back at it, dropping truth bombs left and right. This time, he's shedding light on Wendy's dramatic fall from grace, going from ruling the talk show scene to hitting rock bottom, bedridden and broke. Looks like Katt's not holding back on the juicy details of Wendy's downfall. Let's peel back the layers and get to the bottom of this Hollywood roller coaster. New evidence has surfaced implicating Diddy as the mastermind behind Wendy's downfall. It's claimed that he utilized his wealth and powerful connections to orchestrate her downfall. Apparently, Diddy and Wendy have always had a rocky relationship, stemming from Wendy being one of the first to call out Diddy's alleged inappropriate behavior towards young men in Hollywood. Looks like there's more to this feud than meets the eye.
And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I happen to notice one of your specialty items. Did you drink this whole thing today? Yes. No.
Rumor has it that Diddy might have had a hand in Wendy's downfall, with some even whispering that he might have gone as far as poisoning her. Allegedly, Diddy was afraid Wendy would spill the beans on his deepest, darkest secrets, so he silenced her to prevent any potential exposés. Looks like there's some serious drama brewing behind the scenes.
you know, what's worse, you know, hip hop wearing skirts or hip hop being closeted and having a plethora of kids to prove manhood that, you know, and denial of something that you shouldn't have to deny.
At one point, Diddy went as far as getting Wendy fired from the radio station where she was working. Not stopping there, he reportedly issued a stern warning to all the other radio stations across New York, advising them not to hire her. That's just how intense the animosity between them was. Looks like Diddy wasn't holding back in his dislike for Wendy. Diddy's former bodyguard also chimed in on the conversation, making a statement regarding the situation. He confirmed that Diddy warned all radio stations not to collaborate with Wendy. Looks like Diddy's influence extended beyond just his own actions, even involving those close to him.
Out those pictures of the dude pulling his pants down, and it looked like some gay act that was going on. He got on the phone. He said, "Let me tell you this. When I get back to New York City, if she's on the radio station," he's talking to a radio executive. He said the same thing to
Gene Deal, Diddy's ex-bodyguard, claimed that Diddy arranged for Wendy Williams to be fired from her position at Hot 97 before she could even mention the controversial photo on air. Looks like Diddy was determined to keep a lid on things. The power Combs had with the radio stations in New York, motherfuckers didn't breathe hard if Combs didn't want them to. Combs got one of the hottest DJs off Hot 97 because she wanted to put up a picture of him getting his pants pulled down, Deal said. Combs told Hot 97 if they didn't get rid of her before he got back in New York, that they was not going to get any music from any of his friends, any of the record label's executives that was cool with him. Everyone was going to boycott their station. "We was out in LA for about 3 days," Deal added. "Before we landed back in New York, Wendy Williams was in the radio station in Philly. It was over for her. She was fired." Wendy Williams kick-started her career at New York City's Hot 97 radio station in 1994. Coincidentally, this was the same time that the Bad Boy record label, founded by Sean "Diddy" Combs in 1993 in collaboration with Arista Records, was gaining prominence, as reported by the BBC. Bad Boy Records quickly became associated with iconic talents like the notorious Big Lil Kim, Madolari, Faith Evans, and Total, all of whom received significant airplay on radio stations, including Hot 97, where Wendy Williams played a pivotal role in the media landscape. Hot 97 launched around the time that Bad Boy launched. Former Bad Boy President Kirk Burrows said during an interview with the podcast The Art of Dialogue in 2022. We came with records that helped the rotation to be fulfilled. Wendy was a big name at the popular radio station Hot 97 when she claimed to have received exclusive photos of Diddy getting into a tussle with another man, shirtless, during his Cancun vacation. However, before she could delve into the juicy details on air, Diddy reportedly pulled some strings and had her fired. Not stopping there, he allegedly blacklisted her, warning every radio station in New York not to give her a job. Looks like Diddy wasn't taking any chances with his reputation.
In Cancun, for whatever reason, dude was playing with Puff. He went behind him and grabbed his trunks and pulled them down. Some girls that was taking pictures. They took that picture and emailed it back to Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams said she had him in a compromising position. Something like that. She was going to put it out. Wendy had shown people that email. Puff told Hot 97 if they didn't get rid of her before he got back in New York, that they was not going to get any music from any of his friends, any of the record labels executives that was cool with him. Everybody was going to balk.
In 2013, Wendy Williams came forward to confirm the incident, revealing that a prominent hip-hop figure had indeed orchestrated her dismissal after she insinuated he was gay. However, she refrained from explicitly naming Diddy this time around. Nevertheless, it was pretty evident to everyone who she was referring to. The tension between them supposedly reached a boiling point when Diddy allegedly dispatched a girl group from his record label to confront Williams. Recounting the incident, she mentioned, "Once upon a time, there was a music mogul who sent his all-girl group to beat my A in front of the radio station." Williams continued, describing the aftermath. "I finish my shift, round up my headphones to see everyone lined up on the side of the window, looking down at the sidewalk. Upon reaching the ground floor, she claimed to witness this girl group jump out of a gypsy cab to kick her A. If the rumors hold true, it's speculated that the girl group referred to was Total, formerly signed to Bad Boy Records, and the music mogul in question was Diddy. So Wendy claimed that Diddy went to the extent of instructing the girl groups signed to his record label, Bad Boy Entertainment at the time, to confront her at work and physically assault her. Luckily, her boyfriend was present and intervened, preventing her from being attacked that day.
Total were downstairs waiting, and everybody upstairs at the radio station is looking down, egging it on, waiting for something to go down. I wasn't yet married. My knight in shining armor screeched up in his car just out of nowhere. I didn't even know what was about to happen. I'm standing in the door like, what? And I'm literally about to go through. Now, I'm not like, what, let's fight, because I'm not one of those type of broads. And plus, there was three of them. The little Chinese man that drove the van, they were coming. There was no security or anything. It was just them three fighting broads. And me.
She recounted the incident, stating, "I got off the air one day, them Total B were downstairs, and everybody upstairs at the radio station was looking down, egging it on, waiting for something to go down." Williams explained that her boyfriend at the time intervened and prevented the situation from escalating further. During a 2013 interview with Vlad TV, Williams looked back on her exit from the New York City radio scene, attributing it to conversations about homophobia in hip-hop. She remarked, "There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams, and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. Now it's all come full circle. There were many situations back in my career, and it's all coming full circle." This comment underscored the difficulties and backlash she encountered for broaching certain subjects throughout her career. As reported by Wrap Up, Wendy Williams confessed to holding on to lingering resentment towards Diddy, believing that he had tried to sabotage her career. In her book, The Wendy Williams Experience, she wrote, "The hell he put me through, I will never forget. But I don't hate him." And here's the kicker. Wendy also dropped hints about Wendy being controlling over Cassie, but nobody caught on to the tea she was spilling until it was too late.
Filming Honey 3. And she allegedly has been avoiding Puffy. And, my thing about when you date a mogul is that it's really difficult to avoid them, because if you use your head, you never know when they're going to pop up on the scene. Like, he's mogul, like he can hire a plane right now.
She further added,
Picture of Michael Jackson's song, Lady in My Life, and wrote, if anyone sees Cassie this weekend, please tell her to listen to this song 100 times.
Did you all catch the way Wendy expertly dissected the situation and basically highlighted everything we now know about Diddy and Cassie? She truly had Diddy pegged like the back of her hand, and it seems he wasn't too thrilled about it. Fast forward to 2017, and it seemed like they had patched things up because Diddy made an appearance on The Wendy Williams Show. Both of them even joked about their past tension, indicating that they had moved past it.
I must say it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
And I want to just tell you how proud I am of you. Because I don't think you get enough credit for being the first one to really cover our culture. You know, hip-hop culture and also hip-hop celebrities.
About this show, numerous fans voiced their opinions, and one supporter sided with Wendy. The fan wrote, "He got her fired, now you have to come on her show." Full circle. Diddy made a surprising appearance on Williams' show to put an end to their long-standing two-decade feud. While Williams had expressed a desire for reconciliation, she had doubted its likelihood. As the interview began, Williams acknowledged her past actions, stating, "I know I've pissed a lot of people off, including you, but this is a full-circle moment." Diddy appeared to accept the olive branch, engaging in a conversation with Williams about personal matters, including his then-girlfriend, Cassie, expressing, "I'm in love now." Remarkably, just one day after Ventura filed the lawsuit, Combs and his legal representatives reached an undisclosed settlement with her. After being in a relationship with Combs for more than a decade, Cassie made some serious allegations, citing multiple incidents of abuse, including violent beatings and harassment, throughout their time together. The New York Times first brought these distressing accusations to light, detailing a disturbing narrative of Combs exerting control over every facet of Cassie's life. The lawsuit portrays a bleak pattern of abuse, violence, and harassment that endured until the relationship ultimately ended in 2018. She stated in a statement to the Times that after years in silence and darkness, she was finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and in their relationships. But it seems like Diddy's resentment towards Wendy never truly dissipated, and he persisted until he effectively destroyed her career. As many of you already know, Wendy is currently facing a difficult period after being diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontal temporal dementia. This information was disclosed in a press statement issued by her family, which stated, "In 2023, after undergoing a battery of medical tests, Wendy was officially diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontotemporal dementia, FTD," read the press release issued by Jennifer Hanley of Ridge Hill Group. Williams's symptoms, which combined impact her language and communication, behavior, and cognitive functions, have already presented significant hurdles in Wendy's life. It wasn't until she released her documentary, Where is Wendy Williams, that fans truly understood the extent of her struggles. In one episode, Wendy disclosed that she had been exploited by the individuals appointed to care for her in recent years. She expressed shock over not recognizing some of the people they had hired, and to compound matters, they had been embezzling money from her.
Around you,
Stealing money from me.
getting money, whatever the case may be.
Enough.
Now, if you recall, Wells Fargo froze all of Wendy's accounts back in 2022 due to suspicions that several individuals in her team were embezzling funds and making unauthorized transactions without her knowledge. At the time, Wendy's mental health was already deteriorating, and she was unaware of the extent of the financial exploitation. The situation escalated to the point where Wells Fargo sought to have a court-appointed legal guardian for her, as they believed she was not mentally sound and required assistance. However, according to reports, the financial guardian appointed by the court proved to be no better, as she allegedly began embezzling from Wendy as well. Initially, her identity was kept confidential, but it was later revealed to be Sabrina Macy.
Suddenly, Lori Schiller has got no response regarding my money. I want my money. This is not fair. And Wells Fargo has no questions and answers with regarding my money.
Wendy's sister and her son, Kevin Jr., also expressed their frustration over the unfairness of Wendy's money and entire career being managed by a complete stranger who seemingly doesn't even care about Wendy, their mother. When it comes to Williams's son, he speaks out in the documentary about the rumors against him. Kevin shares that his mom has always spent large amounts due to her extravagant lifestyle, and that for the time she was in his care in Florida, she signed off on all financial decisions. "I've never taken money without her consent," he said in the film. "I took it very personally." Wanda has told people about dealing with online accusations against her nephew and their entire family at that time. "I wondered where the hell that information would have come from, and I don't know where. All I know is that Wendy and her team walk into the courtroom one way and they walk out, and the family is completely excluded." Now, this is when suspicions arise that the individuals appointed to care for her are possibly trying to harm her. Kevin Jr. also disclosed that doctors mentioned her illness was worsening rapidly because she's still consuming a significant amount of alcohol. Allegedly, her entire team is aware of this, yet they persist in supplying her with alcohol and other substances. As per a family friend who spoke in a recent radio interview, Wendy Williams relocated to Florida in 2023. Radio host Miss Jones mentioned that she tried to conduct a wellness check on Williams, but employees at her former residence informed her that her inquiry was several months too late. "Did they sell the unit? Is it on the market?" Jonesy says of her initial reaction to the shocking revelation, going on to add, "They said, well, you know what happened? She was getting better, she was coming around, and then she started getting sick again. Because her family's in Florida, and people were coming in her circle that they weren't familiar with, like they couldn't get access to her when they wanted. They moved her down to Florida." Given Wendy's limited mobility, it's evident that she's not the one fetching alcohol for herself. It's someone on her team intentionally providing her with these substances, fully aware that it will exacerbate her condition.
They said it was alcohol-induced dementia.
Jaguar Wright also chimed in on the conversation, adding her insights regarding the situation between Diddy and Wendy.
They've been waiting. He's been waiting. He was waiting for Kim.
People even drew comparisons to what the industry did to Britney Spears and Kanye West. Similar to Wendy, Britney was placed under a conservatorship and had to witness people around her stealing her money. Britney later disclosed in a court hearing that her family intentionally misdiagnosed her and administered excessive amounts of lithium, which they then used as evidence in court to argue that she was incapable of managing her own finances.
It concerns me. I'm told I'm not allowed to expose the people who did this to me. For my sanity, I need you to the judge to approve me do an interview where I can be heard.
And then there's Kanye, who was also prescribed an exceedingly high dose of lithium despite not being ill.
Medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me, and they when I asked them how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly, it took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed about.
Let's not overlook Dave Chappelle, who literally fled to Africa and kept his whereabouts secret, even from his own family. This was because certain Hollywood elites were reportedly on a manhunt to locate him and forcibly administer antipsychotic medications after he turned down a dubious $50 million deal.
And I bounced, and I didn't tell anybody where I was going. The whole time, they're trying to convince me I'm insane.
So, as you can all see, there's a striking pattern emerging here. When celebrities dare to speak out, they're often targeted with attempts to manipulate them through drugs. Many believe that this is exactly what Diddy did to Wendy. Recently, Katt Williams also addressed this issue, stating that the industry attempted to employ the same tactics used against Wendy, Britney, Kanye, and other outspoken celebrities when he tried to shed light on the actions of individuals like R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein, Diddy, and other questionable figures within the industry. He revealed that he was threatened to keep his mouth shut, and in response, they initiated a smear campaign against him, aiming to portray him as a villain.
Years I've done nothing but collect information, knowledge, and your secrets. So if you and a man was in a corner doing something you wasn't supposed to be doing.
And if you think about it, that's precisely what Wendy was doing for years, gathering information and fearlessly sharing it on her show without hesitation. And it's as clear as day that Diddy, along with any other powerful person she spoke about, conspired against her and sought to destroy her. Can you imagine the kind of commentary Wendy would have provided about this entire Diddy debacle if she were healthy enough to host her show? It's almost as if they strategically orchestrated this to silence her as usual. Different people had their own thoughts about this. One person wrote, "I'm sorry, but I feel like Wendy's condition is not an accident. She's one celebrity that definitely has receipts on many things that are coming down the pipeline, and I feel certain higher-ups knew all this was coming and silenced her before things went public." Another person added, "God bless Wendy. Love her and her show. Never missed it. Always recorded for rewatching. Wendy, please get up and fight, girl." What are your thoughts on Katt Williams exposing Diddy for allegedly attempting to silence Wendy? Do you believe Wendy finds herself in this situation because of her outspoken nature? We've all had our suspicions about this for a while now. That's it for today. See you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.